Do you guys want a very high rated opening, or do you guys want to checkmate somebody in 14 moves, or do you guys want to have a win rate over 70%? So folks, if you want all of those things, this is the opening just for you, and I'm gonna teach you all of those things. And this opening is called the English opening. So it starts with c4, very unique to every openings out there. And then an opponent will naturally go pawn to e5. It is the most popular move of all. When we go pawn to c4, I will teach you how to play with this opening with first you go c3. This is the most decent way of developing a knight in the English opening, but there are some traps out of here on this line. So they might go knight to f6, developing their own knight as well, because we developed their own knight as well. They wouldn't like to be late in development of chess. So folks, we would go here, knight to f3, trying to develop another knight, trying to gain some more development, trying to gain some more pieces on the center of the board, so more pieces are closer to attack the opponent right here, folks. So first line they might go is pawn to e4. So folks, I got you all covered for that, because after pawn to e4, we'll just go here and counterattack the pawn on e4. Because of the fact they cannot do anything about it, and this is nothing because we can just take this. If they take this, we will just take the queen. If they do that, then we will win 100% of the time. And then sometime if we do this, they will take this, no problem. We'll just take another pawn. So folks, we will just get +1 point if we do that line over there, folks. So folks, what if they don't do that? What if in the other lines, they would go knight to c6 instead, trying to protect that pawn instead of pushing it? So folks, there's this another line, and so we would go pawn to e4 instead, trying to prevent that pawn from pushing to e4. The first line that the opponent can play is bishop to c5, and they would most likely play that because it's a very natural move for them to go to. They would develop a bishop, and so they would do that because they would develop another piece in the game that would serve them to destroy us. Little did they know that we would destroy them first. So folks, the next lines are poisonous for them. And those lines are knight takes pawn on e5. That is sacrificing a full knight right there. If they say, we will go pawn to d4, try to win our material back on the game, try to attack two pieces and forking them, they must go make a decision to move their one piece back or not at all. So folks, a lot of people will go bishop to d6, and we will go actually pawn to c5, which makes our opponent's mind blow their own heads. So folks, why? Why would we attack again another piece in the game if they do another choice to save this knight instead? Well then folks, we will go here and take the bishop they will take. And what is the benefit? We will have a very good structure in the center, and plus we're gonna shove them later, and plus their pawn structure is very bad. Instead they would go here, which is a very bad move, because now they would take a pawn for a desperado, knowing that they would be taken as well in their bishop. But no, we will take their knight, which would win us back our material, plus having to attack this knight. And not only that, we have opened our queen. Their king is kind of exposed already. We have the better position over here, having this pawn in the center, while theirs is not. Theirs will not go here on these two squares because that's a blunder to the queen. Right here, they cannot go here also because of the fact that the knight is here. So the only option is to go here, making their knight undeveloped again and wasting a move for a reason. And we're just gonna go here, trying to demolish them with the queen on g4. So folks, this queen is staring at the pawn on g7, and they can trap the rook if they do dilly-dally with a move like this, and so they would trap the rook. But they would not do that because they're very smart, and they would try to go pawn to g6, and they would go here, trying to protect their pawn, not to get their rook trapped this time. So folks, if they go here, then we will just go back and try to defend our pawn. Not only that, why would we go back? Because of the fact that they would open their bishop and try to attack their queen. So we're getting out of danger of that first. They would go here, which is the most natural move to develop their bishop in the next few couple of moves. So we would go bishop g5, attacking their queen. They could go here and cover the queen. It is a very natural move for them because it has some purpose, it has some advantage to develop in the next few couple of moves, plus defending their queen. In the next move, we could go here, knight to d5. This knight over here to d5 will initiate a very dangerous line, which if they take, which most of people do in this opening line, we would go for mate in 2. Because after this, they could only go here. The only possible square they can go to. And if they go there and it's mate in 1. I mean, that's just mate in 1 on move 14. So folks, I just taught you guys how to mate in 14 with this opening. If you don't get that in that video, if that doesn't happen in the game, just play normal chess. because normal chess is better. Or better, find an alternative opening than this, because there are better openings than this. You can find it on my channel. There are more videos of another opening that would serve better in mating opponents plus having a higher win rate. And we would go here and sacrifice our knight. Well then folks, there's another line. What if they would go here, try to check us, because when we take, they would go here and regain back their material. Take it, and now our king is exposed, and after this we cannot fork them. But they literally didn't know we would just go here still, because we would attack the knight and they would go knight to g6 or knight to g4. But we would go knight to g6 first. Let's see that first. And if they do that, we would go push the pawn on e5 and then try to attack the knight on f6. But if they go here, knight to g8, well then folks, it's dead for them because they already suffocated their pieces on the back side of the board. And so, they would be lost in the game. We have the most advantage according to the computer, 0.9 points. We would win this if we wouldn't blunder anything. I mean, look at this big center. The other line that I would show you is that, what if in this line, they would go here, and then we would attack them. And of course, what if they were to go here? So folks, they would check us. We would go here, making our king safe, still having the center pawns and the knight, and now we have got our king safe, which the king was earlier exposed. Now we got our king safe, which was the opponent trying to do, was trying to make our king exposed, but not now. We cannot, we just came back in our fortress and we got protected. So folks, we're gonna go pawn to h3 after that. So folks, they would go pawn to d6 and we would go pawn to h3, try to attack their knight. And now they're literally lost in the game. I mean, look at these knights. They're very dumb to look at. I mean, they are literally standing on one line with each other, looking at each other. So folks, we would go here next, pin the knight to the queen, and we would just exploit an advantage after this, because after the castle, we would go here, knight to d5, trying to attack the knight. You cannot take this because of the fact that we will take your queen. So they would go here, rook to e8. If we were to go here, take the knight, they would take, we would take back. That is nothing. But instead, what if they go here and we would take the other knight? That would give us a full advantage to win this game. The computer just gave us plus 3 points, and the next move somehow is going to be this, checking him, and checkmate is coming on the way. Let's go back here on this line. What if they take our knight again? We would go here, but what if instead they take our pawn on d4? Well, of course, if we go here and attack the knight and fork, it would be inefficient for us to not exploit the advantage, and so we would take the bishop instead. We would take the bishop, attacking both knights, and they would not take our sacrifice. So they would go here, and so instead of trying to win their material, they would not win their material, they would just trade. And that is a bad thing to do. I mean, look at this position. It's ridiculous. I have a queen, I have a knight developed, and plus I have these 2 pawns already controlling squares. What is your knight doing? Nothing. You just develop your knight back to your own square and attacking my queen. Sure, fine, we're just gonna go queen to e3. And they would go and castle their own king. We would go bishop to e2. There's nothing that can do. Because, of course, if they go here, pinning our pawn, that's nothing. After that, they would go here, the natural move. We would go here, pawn to b3, trying to go here and try to exploit this advantage of the bishop, going to develop on the b2 square. They would take this. And if they somehow remove this and try to attack our queen, that's doomed for us. But no, it is not. Because of the fact we will just take back. And if they were to go here and try to pin our knight from the rook a while ago, and now they will attack the knight, we cannot move them. But we will actually move the knight, being a maniac. They cannot take our queen because we can just check him. And if we check him, they will take our knight. We will go here, check them again with the queen this time, and now they will go here, trying to be safe because of the fact that their king is going to be exposed. We will go bishop to h5, attacking their rook. They would go with a rook, be safe with their own rook, attacking our queen instead. But that's nothing because we can attack their pawn on f6, and after that, they would go knight to e5, we would go bishop to b2, they would go bishop to d7, and after all the dust settles, we would win. Because after they go here, well, it's doomed because here, well, and if they go here, well, then they are doomed because we can just go here and fork the queen and the king. And that would be very good for us to take advantage. And so, he would just resign after this because he cannot do anything. He cannot cover the knight from being attacked by here. He could just do this, but his knight is being blundered. And now we get just 2-point advantage to the computer. We're just winning. What if knight to b4 instead happens of pawn to d6? Well, folks, we will go here, queen to g3, trying to go here and attack the pawn on g7, trying to upright a cannon to the king on the enemy king. And so if they go here, taking our free pawn, which is a sacrifice, if they do that, they would attack our queen. But that's nothing because we would go and take their knight back. But a while ago, we were projecting also a fork from happening from our queen and the rook. Not only that, we moved our queen to try to initiate a plan on the king. And if they do take our pawn on e4, we would take their knight back on e4 and they would take back. And that is a huge mistake because now we will pair up with the bishop and the queen. And if they do this, take another free pawn, which would be greedy for them, which we would set up earlier in the board, which was the starting of the English opening. Well then, folks, they would be dead because of bishop to h6. Why? Because, of course, you're gonna take the bishop and now you're gonna be checkmated if you do something. The best thing for them to do is to go here. I don't know if that's safe anymore because we got +2 advantage again from the computer. So folks, I don't know how will they try to recover from this position. Our queen is literally pointing at the king and we're gonna win somehow. To win tempo like pawn to b3 and then they would go back and then we would go here and now we would gain tempo and they couldn't do nothing about it. So folks, this is the main opening line. I don't know if there are other lines. So folks, I hope you guys liked the video and if you did, please like the like button and subscribe if you want to motivate me to make more videos like this. Thank you to everyone for complimenting me to make more videos like this and of course my shorts edits. And yeah, see you guys in the next video. Peace out.